It is a sad day, you guys. I am saying goodbye to the summer garden, and it's just gonna hurt me to do what I'm gonna be doing today, but it's gotta be done. So we're gonna say goodbye to the summer garden, everyone. Some things are staying, not everything's going, but specifically, I'm going to be taking out my tomatoes today. I need the space. Those tomatoes, those glorious tomatoes are going. But I need the space because I don't have any more containers and I'm not buying any more. And I want to plant my brassicas. So we're saying goodbye. Just thinking about like how things went this year. You know, these latanas were really, really resilient. I let those dry out accidentally, of course. I can't even tell you how many times. Maybe 3 or 4. And then I watered them, trimmed them back, and they came back 3 or 4 times over the summer now. So definitely a good plant for me. Works really well for my area, and it smells so good. It's not really fragrant to just walk by it, but to touch the leaves and all, it almost has like a citrusy lemon scent. It smells so good. I'm all about having some great scents in the garden in the summer, and definitely this is one of them. Earlier this summer I had cut and come again lettuce planted in this planter, and it went really, really well. I will definitely do that again. The sunflowers, I wasn't sure if the dwarf sunflowers would work here, and they are. So I love the way these look. I will definitely be placing these in the railing planter again. I have another set that is ready to come out and be planted. So I'm going to be actually cutting these for fresh cut flowers, and then I'll be planting some new ones right there that I already had going in the house. They're in some arrow gardens. Oh, what a pretty butterfly. Hi, Mr. Butterfly. Why you hiding? Anywho, and then here I have some sunflowers that are coming up that were behind this one. What's notable here is how well the purple ladybug choy is doing in here. I wish I had planted more there. In the summertime it got killed by like the cabbage worms or whatever they were, but here going into the end of the summer, beginning of the fall, these are thriving and there's no bugs in sight. So definitely this is like a end of summer fall crop that I want to do next year, because I do like eating this. It's really watery is how I would describe it. It's mild. It goes great in soups. I've actually eaten it raw. I just pick a leaf and eat it. You know, when I come home from work or something, if I'm sitting out here or if I'm walking around the garden, I'll walk out the door, pull off a leaf and go on about my way. But definitely want to do that again. It did really well here. Alright, and then so also up here we can see my orange hat tomatoes, which were just done. I mean, they were done. And then I cut them down to, no joke, like nubs. Here's one nub that's still there. There were no leaves, there were nubs. And look at them now. That was probably I'm gonna say 4 weeks. 4 weeks ago, when I really did like that severe trim on them. And look at, they have flowers coming in, which is great. I think in a month I should be able to get those, and hopefully we won't even get the frost. But it's looking good. And in here I put some blue scotch kale and some Siamese mixed lettuce. Alright, here is my Hungarian sweet pepper. It is just now getting to the point where it's flowering. The one in the house has been harvested at this point 3 times, and each time I was getting about 15 peppers off of it. So a pepper that I started at the same time as this, same seeds, started and continued to grow in the AeroGarden, has now produced 45 peppers for me. This one that was started in the AeroGarden but moved outside is now, just now, getting its first pepper. Just now. So, I'm excited though. I'm happy. It was a pretty plant the whole season, and it still is. And I'm just glad that I'll be getting something from it. But I just wanted to point that out, that, AeroGarden is just amazing. It is amazing. I mean it. Look at me. The AeroGarden is amazing, okay? I still recommend growing outside like I am here, but my AeroGardens seriously changed my whole planting, gardening, flower, vegetable, all of that. All of those things. It just changed how I thought about it, what I felt like I could do, it's just amazing. They're just amazing. And I know I'm not the only person who feels this way, but I just wanted to say that again, reiterate, so you can look me in my eye and know that I mean it when I say that the AeroGardens are amazing. Okay, so let's get back. So here I have my one of my Chinese spinaches, and I actually started this indoors in the AeroGardens as well. But I just recently figured out that I planted this wrong. I only put one plant in here, and this is that one plant, which looks great, right? I'm not saying that it doesn't look good, because it does. And actually I harvested a piece of this already. It was probably another, I don't know, 12 inches taller than this stem here. So, and made myself some dinner with it. I did a stir fry. Anyways, it was really good. This is a mild spinach. And anyway, I found out you're supposed to plant several of them and then harvest them when they get tall enough. And, just cut it all the way down, and then it grows back. So now I know that. I did not know that before, but now I do. And I have another plant of this that I'm considering moving into this container with this one. So, but I haven't committed to that yet. It's just a thought. So, but I'll let you know if I do that or not. And then down here is a sunflower that I recently transplanted into this container. This container had my green apple cucumber in it a few weeks ago, and it was dying out. It was time to do something different, and so that's how it came to be that the sunflower is in there. I have no idea what happened to these leaves, but the plant is growing really well. It seems to be totally established at this point, and it's getting so much bigger. It's the same variety as these dwarf sunflowers. So let this be a testament to you. The size of the container that you use definitely affects the outcome regarding the size of your plant. This is enormous. That is a 17-gallon container down there. These are real planters. These leaves are barely big as my hand. Those leaves down there, definitely bigger than my hand. So, you know, if you learn anything from this video, do heed my words. The size of the container that you use definitely affects the size of the plant that you're growing in it. You're welcome. Here are 3 more sunflowers that I transplanted. This one had the 3 large, I believe, mammoth sunflowers in it, and I removed those a couple weeks ago and put these new ones in. These are, again, more of the dwarf variety that you've already seen. And the seeds were called, what was the name of these? Teddy Bear Sunflowers. I got them from Baker Creek. And germination rate was great. I think so far I've only lost one seed that didn't germinate. But so these are doing really good, and I'm looking forward to having those. And then after those flower, I will also be planting something in there that I've already got going in the house. And then I'm gonna keep this planter on the porch and try to let that other plant that I'm gonna be putting in here in a couple weeks, so it could get established while it's cold out. We'll see how that works. You know, I'm learning. You guys, like I told you in probably all of my previous videos, I am just winging it. I'm just trying to make things grow, right? And trying to get some food out of it. And I'm not telling you how to do things. I'm just telling you what I'm doing, where I'm at, and how it's working for me or not working for me. Here I have this is what, a petunia, and I need to trim it back again. I don't know if I want to take the time to do that, because as you can see, if I cut it back, it will grow back. So there's like baby leaves in there. Like all of this can fill in for sure. But we only have, I want to say, like 36 days until our potential first frost. And I mean, that's enough time, but it won't flower again, I don't think, unless I move it up under the porch, which I don't know. I'll have to read about that. I wonder if cold weather, how that would affect this flowering plant if I move it just so that it doesn't get like snow on it. You know, but I don't know. I don't know that I even want to do that, because I kind of want to use this planter for something else. I got some seeds coming that I think I want to use this hanging planter in the house over the winter. But yeah, I have a million ideas, and then some of them come to fruition and some don't. Moving on, I have what is here? This is the Siamese mix, some more lettuces. I started these in the house. I was getting them rooted out here. Seems to be doing very well. This is my time. I'm in love with this, and I'm hoping that it can hang on during the fall. And this is another aromatic. It smells so good. Now this is one you can just brush up against and fall in love with the smell. It's wonderful. Here I have a nasturtium. I was hoping that these would like come to a bloom, just one, before the fall. I still got 36 days, I believe. Here's another one over here. And then there's one down here. So maybe that would happen. I knew that I was going to run into this problem with those plants, but I was just so excited and so eager to grow them myself. It turns out that the leaves and the flowers, if I ever get some, are edible, and they're supposed to be spicy, so I'm planning on trying those because I like pungent greens. Anyways, here's some more lettuce that I planted out here from indoors, and another Siamese mix. Got some cilantro, and look at here. In my time, I just spotted this. I got some mustards growing in there. That's that red giant mustard, the garlicky one, the Japanese red giant mustard. So I'm excited about that. Here is parsley doing fantastic. This is curly parsley, obby. And here Oh my God, you guys, is, it is not parsley, and it is not, oh, okay, it is basil, which apparently I planted out here from seed, what's today, September 12th, so a month ago. This is a month of growth. This is lemon basil. When I tell you this smells so good, I just went and bought some lime basil because I want that too. I just want to smell all the basils. Oh gosh, you need brakes, huh? So this is lemon basil, and it is just, oh my God, the smell. Lord Jesus, dude. I shouldn't say that. I have no idea why he can't afford to get his brakes taken care of just yet. So also in this container is some mint. If you'll recall, I pulled this mint out, I don't know, a couple months ago, and here it is. It is came back. When they tell you that mint is like a beast, they're not joking. Mint is a beast. It came back. There was probably some roots down in there that I didn't get out, and that's why I'm not gonna pull it, because I do like using the mint. But check that out. I'm growing mint, coleus, basil, and cilantro all in the same container. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on this. Believe me when I tell you, keep an eye on your mint if you grow it, because it gets out of control real quick and it'll choke your other ones out. Here's some more lemon basil. Fantastic. Again, last night I came home from work and I ended up pulling a couple leaves off of this. You can see where, like here, and I pulled a leaf off over here. And I just was rubbing those between my fingers for a couple hours yesterday when I got home from work, because I just love the smell. Speaking of smells, here is my rose geranium. Oh my God. I have been going on about how wonderful this smells, and it still does. This was a good and a bad thing. So I bought this plant off of Amazon from Ohio Grower, I believe it's called. And it was a cutting. It was barely this big, and it was in a little 4-inch pot. Obviously, the greenery went insane, so I had growth. But I was only getting a few flowers here and there. So I'm not sure what I wasn't doing or what I wasn't giving it, that I wasn't getting flowers like I thought I would. So we have a couple coming in here, but that's how it was. You know, I'd have a couple here and then, you know, maybe a couple over here. It wasn't like full of flowers like you think a geranium would be. So I have a couple pieces in the house right now that I'm trying to root, so I can try to grow this over the summer or over the winter indoors in the house. And we'll see how that goes. I think one of them has rooted, but you know, if I don't have any success yet, obviously I still have a whole lot of plant that I could take cuttings from and try to root that. The coleus that was growing in here is basically dying off. I'm going to be pulling that pretty soon here. I've been trying to take cuttings from it because I can't find any of these coleus seeds, and I want to keep some for in the house, because I like looking at it. I think it's a really pretty plant, don't you? I think it's gorgeous. I love those colors. And I want to grow it in the house over the winter. But I have been taking cuttings from the big guy, from the mama. I've been taking cuttings from the mama, so we'll see what happens with that. Normally I have great success with geraniums. I don't know why this is the first time I've had a geranium not flower the way that geraniums normally flower. So I'm at a loss for this one. I don't know. It was a success, but it wasn't a success. Gosh, that smells so good. All right, so in this container is some basil, which I'm gonna leave. I don't know how long it'll last into the fall, but I'm gonna leave it because, as you can see, the pollinators like it. They like the little flowers. And then I'm gonna leave the zinnia. I don't see anything going on with the zinnias that I need to pull those yet. Plus, it's still flowering for me. You can see up there and up there, and there, and back in there. So lots of flowers coming in on this. And in a month's time, I think that I could get these. And that's just assuming that my frost date comes when they predict it will, which I'm hoping they're wrong. This is a tomato plant that I deliberately planted later in the season because I wanted to be at this stage really established but brand new, you know, sort of, kind of. Because this one's called an Oregon Spring, and it's supposed to be a really good one for being in the Midwest and getting through the fall season. It can take a little, it's a little bit cold hardy. So if I can keep it protected, then that means that I should be able to keep this plant a little longer than I would normally be able to keep them. But that's the only one I have. This will be my only, well, I thought my only tomato plant. I just realized there's going to be 2 more, but we'll get to that shortly. It is flowering now, and that's exciting. We got some fruits coming in and some flowers on there. So things are progressing really well with this. I'm glad that I did the Oregon Spring. And where did I get these seeds from? I'm planning on putting links to things, to all the seeds that I got. So if you want to get the Oregon Spring, there'll be a link in the description box if I can find it. Over here, I just did a whole video on this pepper plant. I am gonna leave it. It's something's in there tearing up these leaves. I have no idea. I keep checking it and I don't find anything. However, whatever it is isn't bothering the peppers, which are still coming in, and obviously, as you can see, there are a plethora of them on there. This past week I harvested 5 big ones. I mean, like, big ones fit in your hand. 5 green peppers, excuse me, and these are what was left. Some new ones, so you see we got some coming in right there, and we still got flowers on it, so that's happening. Look at all of those right there. Those will be peppers there, and got one up here. I mean, there are peppers everywhere on this thing. Again, and I think I settled on saying that these are seeds that I saved from a pepper that I was eating back in 2013, I want to say. So these seeds were 7 years old. And this is by far my most productive pepper plant. Can you believe it? And that's, again, I just took a seed, saved some seeds out of a orange bell pepper, I think it was. It was either a red or an orange one. But this plant is just, it's the thing that dreams are made of, honestly. Look at this fruit. Look at it. Is that not gorgeous? I mean, these are just perfect. And I only planted 2 types of peppers this year, and that would be the Quadrado, which are kind of gnarly. They you know, they're kind of curled up, and I think gnarly is the right word to put to describe them. And then I did, you know, the seeds that I had that I saved, and those were from a regular bell pepper, which would tell me that these look really uniform. They look like your average bell pepper, and so these are definitely the seeds that I saved, what 7 years ago. Mind-blowing, right? Look at all those. Okay, so I mentioned that that Oregon Spring wasn't going to be the only tomato that I was going to have. Here's the other 2. I'm going to keep these orange hat tomatoes. They are already flowering again, and they were going all season so far. They're already flowering again. I plan on covering these up and keeping them through the winter, as long as I can at least. I mean, I don't know how long that's gonna last. But so those are my other 2 tomato plants. So I'll have some cherry tomatoes, orange cherry tomatoes, and then I'll have the Oregon spring tomatoes, which I believe grow to be about 4 to 6 ounces each. We talked about that. Okay, so here is, oh, I forgot all about this plant. So here's another cherry tomato that I am not pulling. And it's got beans growing in here. I'm just doing the most, aren't I? This is the spinach plant that I was saying I was thinking about moving from this container to that container. But looking at it, honestly, I'm just gonna leave it. It's fine where it's at. Once I cut it back though, I'm not sure that I'll be able to get it to regrow, because this cherry tomato plant is huge. Let's see, we got some changing color in here. So this might be, these are nice size too. Look at these. These are much bigger than the cherry tomatoes that come out of my arrow gardens in the house. I'm not sure which cherry tomato plant that is, because I have seeds for probably half a dozen. I should have took better notes. You guys, I just get so excited and just start doing stuff. And I get these bright ideas and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then I don't take the best notes. So I don't know what kind of plant that is. What variety, I mean, I know what kind of plant it is. This is some dragon tongue beans that I threw in here as well. Why is this one being, oh, because the plant is dragging it down, my God. Here, let's put it out on the outside. It was right. Oh, look at that. Speaking of, there's another mustard plant. That's that red giant. Ooh, really excited about that. So yeah, doing great. All right, you guys, so that is part 1 of me saying goodbye to the container garden. There's going to be a part 2 because obviously I haven't even addressed my tomato plants yet, the bigger ones, and that's really what's coming out this weekend for the most part. So but we're already at half an hour, so that's why I decided to break this up. So stick around for part 2 of saying goodbye to my summer container patio garden.